So this video is for anybody that has a team in the Philippines or is sourcing to hire resources in the Philippines, or maybe thinking about building a business or a team in the Philippines later on. So as we lead into the last quarter of the year, believe it or not, in the Philippines, it's really already all about Christmas, and referred to as the Burr months: September, October, November, December. Christmas starts in September. Already in the malls, we've got Christmas trees and lights up, and Maria Carrie singing 20 times a day in every shopping mall across the country. It's a great time of year to be in the Philippines. I was lucky enough to live in the Philippines for 8 years, and having two little kids, it's honestly an amazing place. It's really all about Christmas for the next 3 months, which is great. I thought I'd create a quick guide here about Christmas in the Philippines. Disclaimer, I'm not going to talk about the cultural side of things or the religious side of things, only because I just don't know enough about that type of thing. I would ask your team, ask your provider, speak to the experts, speak to the Filipino teams that are actually live and breathe and understand this better than I will. I'm looking at this really from the side of a business, and some of the things maybe to consider if you do have a team, or, as I say, building a team. So Christmas is a really good time to connect with your team. So if you plan on going over, and I would highly recommend going over, if not in the next 3 months, anytime you've got a team, I would highly recommend going over and visiting them. But if you can get over this time of year, it's a great time to be there. Don't forget to take some gifts. Think about small things. Don't need to spend a fortune. Something that you can take to reward your team, and that probably goes for any time you're visiting. If you're not going, or even if you are, start talking as early as now about maybe a budget for Christmas lunch, Christmas dinner. Christmas is a great way to wrap up the year and start talking about setting the targets for next year. So it's a really good time to have an event of some sort, and a Christmas lunch is a great way of doing that. You can budget from 20 Australian dollars up to $50 per head, or beyond, whatever your budget is. You don't need to go that far, but doing something is a great idea. Another thing that most organizations will do for their employees in the Philippines is to provide a gift basket. These gift baskets are all over the supermarkets already, and you can provide these for your team, and they include things like spaghetti, tomato sauce, hams, cheeses, biscuits, chocolates. It's all about food and the Filipinos. So you can look for setting a budget around, again, 20 to 30, 40, $50 per person. But a great way to start celebrating. Great to be talking to your team all about this at this point, and also a great time to be budgeting for those types of things. So something you might want to be talking about as early as now is leave, Christmas coverage. So have a think about what is the coverage you require over the Christmas period. Many businesses shut down in Australia or New Zealand. So if that's you, let your team know. Start talking about what they're planning on doing over the Christmas period. Many of them will be planning to travel, spend time with their family. But as long as you start talking as early as now, you can start planning, and you can start setting that out with the team, and they can start putting their leave applications in, and you can get all that taken care of. It's a very busy part of the year, again, very fun part of the year, but something to be thinking about is the coverage. If you need to have coverage, also, it's great to be having that conversation as early as now, and not as you get closer, November, December, and it gets a bit beyond that chance where you can actually start planning. Something to consider for sure is if you're planning on hiring this time of year, or in December, January, even February, it can get really difficult to source resources in December. It's not that it's difficult to source, it's getting somebody to start in December if they are not already working in a role may be difficult. This is often tied to the 13th month pay, which is paid out either at the start, mid, or end of December, as mandated by the government. And oftentimes any candidates that you're talking to just don't want to risk that being delayed or held up, so are very nervous or cautious about leaving and joining a new company. It's still a good time to be sourcing, and if you're looking for them to start in January or February, it's a great time to be having those conversations. January is a really good time to be hiring. Lots of people in the market, lots of people looking. But if you are looking at January and February, personally, I'd be sourcing around October. looking to start sourcing in October to place around mid to end of November. Bring them on board, get them to understand your business, meet the team over Christmas. Great time to join your company or your organization, and then head into the new year. They're already on board. You already know them. They already know you. And it's a really good place to start. So if you are hiring, think ahead and start thinking about, if you're looking to adding people to your team, maybe look at sourcing around October as early as now. So look, there are lots of other things to think about. Like I say, talk to your team. If you want to know about the Philippines culture and how they celebrate Christmas, talk to them. They definitely know better than I do. But it's a really good time of the year, and there's lots to be learned and earned from that time of year. But I hope these tips have been helpful. If you need any help or have questions around this or anything else, reach out anytime. Anyway, Merry Christmas and good luck.